Ask anyone to name the oldest centers of higher learning, and they will likely point to Europe's grand courtyards, institutions like Oxford, Cambridge, or Bologna. Those European schools did not open their doors until the late 11th century. 500 years earlier, an entirely different kind of academic institution was already operating at its peak, thousands of miles to the east. Deep in the modern Indian state of Bihar sit the sprawling red brick ruins of Nalanda. Long before the European Renaissance, this site functioned as the world's first international residential university. Nalanda housed thousands of scholars living and working together in an organized metropolis of ideas, thriving while much of the Western world was navigating the Dark Ages. Emperor Kumaragupta of the Gupta Empire founded the institution in the 5th century. He built it as a Mahavihara, a grand Buddhist monastery specifically dedicated to advanced learning. The name itself reflects its core philosophy. In Sanskrit, Na Alam Da translates to the unstoppable flow of knowledge. To keep knowledge flowing, the university was entirely funded by agricultural and tax revenue from 100 surrounding villages. With these villages supplying all necessities, the compound operated subsidy-free. Scholars received education, food, and housing at zero personal cost. The physical campus reflected this massive investment. The grounds spanned 14 hectares and featured over 300 thick-walled stone rooms, engineered to stay naturally cool during the heat of the Indian summer. By removing all financial and physical barriers to survival, the empire engineered an intellectual utopia. Scholars woke up every day with a single mandate: to think. Free housing and limitless education came with a steep barrier to entry. Getting into Nalanda required surviving one of the most rigorous admission processes in the ancient world. The first test happened at the front entrance. A designated gatekeeper, a highly accomplished scholar, subjected applicants to a grueling verbal interrogation on complex philosophy. This data breaks down the exam's sheer brutality. A narrow 20% sliver of applicants were accepted, while the vast majority were rejected at the door. Those who passed joined an academic community housing 10,000 elite students and 2,000 expert teachers. While founded on Buddhist teachings, the curriculum expanded to cover advanced secular sciences. Students mastered linguistics, medicine, and astronomy under pioneers like Aryabhata, the mathematician who conceptualized zero. Surviving the gatekeeper's crucible meant earning a place among the highest concentration of brainpower on Earth. Word of this academic powerhouse spread across the Eastern Hemisphere, creating a magnetic pull for anyone seeking mastery of their field. This map traces the converging routes of ancient scholars who embarked on multi-year journeys from China, Korea, Tibet, and Turkey. The renowned Chinese monk Xuanzang spent years navigating jagged Himalayan passes and deadly deserts, without his emperor's permission, simply to study at Nalanda. The ultimate prize for these weary travelers was access to the Dharma Ganja, meaning the treasury of truth. This was the university's massive library complex. The Dharma Ganja consisted of 3 distinct multi-story buildings. The largest, known as the Ratnasagar, towered 9 stories tall and dominated the campus skyline. Inside those walls sat hundreds of thousands of original manuscripts covering grammar, astronomy, and medicine. Nalanda operated as the ancient world's central hard drive, safeguarding centuries of human progress. By the late 12th century, the political landscape of northern India was fracturing under the invasion of a military commander named Bakhtiyar Khilji. During his campaigns, Khilji fell severely ill. When his own royal physicians failed to treat the disease, his condition worsened to the point of collapse. Desperate, Khilji's advisors called upon Rahul Sribhadra, the head of Nalanda's medicine department. Sribhadra successfully cured the warlord by secretly coating the pages of a Quran with an invisible medicine, which Khilji inhaled as he read. Instead of gratitude, Khilji reacted with intense jealousy. He was infuriated that local scholars, whom he viewed as inferior idol worshippers, possessed scientific and medical knowledge that surpassed the capabilities of his own court. Khilji viewed this intellectual mastery as a challenge to his authority. To ensure his dominance remained total, he turned his military against the university to eliminate the scholars whose knowledge he could not match. Khilji's forces breached the campus walls and executed a brutal order. They systematically slaughtered thousands of unarmed monks and students as they tried to protect the grounds. The soldiers then turned their attention to the Dharmaganja, the great 9-story library complex, setting the entire repository ablaze. The volume of paper, palm leaves, and parchment housed inside was so massive that the fire burned continuously for 6 agonizing months. As the smoke cleared, it took with it centuries of discovery and philosophical thought. The deliberate deletion of this knowledge set back the intellectual progress of the entire region. For the next 600 years, the site lay abandoned. The grand stone walls collapsed and vanished beneath heavy mounds of dirt and vegetation. In the early 19th century, a British surveyor named Francis Buchanan Hamilton noticed the unnatural shape of these mounds. He documented Buddhist statues scattered in the soil, sparking early theories about what lay beneath. It took until 1915 for a massive archaeological effort to begin. Over the next 2 decades, excavators carefully dug through the earth, unearthing the lost brick foundations and stone relics of the campus. Today, those excavated ruins are protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a modern iteration of Nalanda University has been constructed nearby to revive its academic traditions. The campus was leveled and the books were lost, but the work survived. While the empire that burned Nalanda vanished centuries ago, the mathematical concepts developed here, including the very concept of zero, continue to shape the modern world.